Hello friends, welcome back to Musings by Nikki. This is Nikki. Here today taking advantage of a snow day because here in Minnesota we just got, well, here in my city, Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, we got I think officially they said like 14 inches of snow yesterday. So there are, as I'm looking out my window right here, there are ridiculous piles of snow everywhere. We've had a very cold winter so far, but not much snow. So also, because we're Minnesota, we rarely ever close our schools, but the bigger districts around us did today, so we did as well. I work in special education, and so when my girls get a snow day, I get a snow day, so we're off today. I'm taking advantage of that to show you this newest, latest, greatest journal. This is called the Book of Memory. And I am in love with this book. It's going to be hard to part with, but I cannot just keep them all. So, but I want to show this to you today. So I love jewel tones. My favorite colors are dark scarlet red, kind of a dark jade green. I love this gold and kind of this rich cerulean blue. And so when I got these are scraps of Indian sari silks. And when I got them, they were gorgeous and it inspired me to kind of start this book. And I'll talk about some of my other inspiration in here, but let me show you the outside first. It is a curved spine. It has the ridges on here like usual. It's kind of just this dirty canvas, like it's been stored in an attic, which is where you found this, or this is gonna be the story. We found this book in the attic. And these are sewn right onto the canvas before I covered the book. So they're on there really good. And it's 6 by 9, like my standard books are, and it has, oh my gosh, just all the things. It has all the things. It has charms and dangles and trims and lace and a ton of sewing with strings, and it has this cool bookmark because I fell in love with these beads. So it's full and it's got a ton of stuff in there, and so I might as well get started. Let me make sure I'm still in frame. Yep, okay. So we'll open up. It's closed just like most of my books are, with seam binding ribbon over here on the side in like one of my favorite colors ever. So before I open it, this is like kind of my premise behind this one. It's like we went into the attic and found a book up there that you didn't know existed, and it was maybe your grandma's book or an aunt or your mom, and you had no idea that they kept this book full of stuff, and now you're going to start looking through it and find all the cool stuff that's in here. So to my first bit of inspiration in kind of dreaming this book up, it's called the Book of Memory, and it's called that because of this book plate right here, which is from Fanny Robinson, and she, like Edith Holden, was a Victorian lady who drew, hand drew and watercolor painted flora and fauna, and was kind of a naturalist. And so she made a book called the Book of Memory, and then it was later reproduced and it's called the Country Flowers of a Victorian Lady, but by Fanny Robinson. And so this is the book plate from inside of there, and I love this. It says, "Oh, like a book of sport, thou'lt read me o'er, but there's more in me than thou'lt understand." So you just found this book in the attic. You'll look at it over and over again, but there's more that you just, as you look at it and as things kind of make sense, or you look at pictures and connect the dots in your head, then it'll start to make sense. I love that thought. Anyway, so let's take a look. So right away in the front here, we have these little tags, these little tabs that flip open and reveal spots to journal, and tags that pop out. And here's another one up here. And then, oh, there's 178 pages in this thing, And that's not including all the sewn in book pages and random other stuff sewn in. And there's just tons of pockets. This is just a full book. There's a bunch of stuff. So lots of these journaling cards. This one says lovely, and it's tucked in this first pocket. And then there's this cool picture on the side here. It says February of '75. It's a gorgeous waterfall. Looks like it was in a gardens, in the garden somewhere, or park. It looks like she just ripped it out of something and stuck it in here. Some paper trims, a ton of sewing, lots of digital stamping of just cool artifacts and things, kind of all throughout the book. There are going to be a lot of these pages. These come out of a student's writing and spelling practice book from the 40s. And at the back of it, there's just a little like glossary dictionary. And so there's some of those pages or some of the practice pages in here. This is sewn on, these are some of the end papers from that book of memory. And here's some sari silk trim. And then our first little charm, it has a little palm tree here on the end of this little glass bead. So maybe she found it, or maybe it has some significance to her, or came off some jewelry, who knows. There's score paper kind of all throughout this, tea-dyed paper. These are calendar papers that I went and put some, I did some stenciling with doily on the back. Here's another pocket with some sewing on it, and an old tag that maybe fell off of something, and a little journaling card that says, "Love is beauty and imperfections are beautiful." And then we have a few buttons that maybe fell off of some clothes, or that were some reason she wanted to keep. So she put them onto the book sewing here in the middle. And an old tag to journal on, and a little journaling card tucked in here. And then a journaling tag here as well. And this is a really old postcard. It says, "Sincere birthday wishes." It's really pretty, and it's shiny. It has gold on there, and I hope you can see that moving it around here. On the back, it's from 1914, and it has this cool old 1-cent stamp on there. Love it. This is super cool. It's so beautiful. So that's stuck in here. She saved that for some reason. Has this really beautiful paper trim here. A little fold out of those calendar papers. Here is a little tag that's just got some sewing on it. This little guy pops out here. That came on an order from Etsy. I stuck it in here. This says, "Enjoy the journey." Some more of those end papers and dictionary papers. Here's a beautiful little pocket watch. And here is some old cheesecloth and a glassine bag that's tucked into this pocket. And inside of the glassine bag is an old tag that has some little typewriter keys on there. Here's a tuck spot, and it just has some stationery tucked in there that you can write on, and a couple of little cards. This one says, "Best day ever." And this one is a little postcard, and this little pocket's made out of a little glassine bag that's sewn on there as well. And then we have another pocket at the beginning of this signature that has another journaling card, and a little handmade paper tag, and some little ephemera, old-fashioned ephemera there with little Tim Holtz paper clip, and some trim, some of that cool leaf trim, and some ribbon that makes a little tab. And more of that pretty paper trim here. And then this is just another tag. But this is Johanna, who's another artist on YouTube who does these beautiful, amazing things. And literally just a couple of days ago, I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago, she posted a video of making these quilted cards out of her scraps from her books, What to Do. You end up with all these little paper scraps, and she made this beautiful quilted card, and I got obsessed and loved it. And So made some, I probably made a dozen of them, just fell in love with it. So there are a couple of them in here because I just think they're the coolest thing. So thank you, Johanna. Your work is amazing and beautiful. Here's a cool steamer ship. And here's this cool, found these at Michael's, I think, paper clip that looks like an arrow. And inside this glassine bag with just some French printing on it. And there's a little tag there. There's a little half sheet. Then this is the second semester test. Uh-oh, somebody's gonna fail. They didn't take it. Here's a tuck spot with the ruler on it. Here is some more dangly beads and jewelry. You know, maybe she found them or they came off of something and stuck them in here. Score paper. Here is more of that calendar paper. Some practice stuff, some sari silk. In the middle of this one is, the middle of the signature is a pocket, and there's a postcard stuck in there. This one is from 1912. It says, I have not much monies, but I is very willing to work, which is funny. It sounds like something my grandpa would have said. But back in the day when all you had to do was write the general area and it would get to somebody. So old postcard, she must have saved it for some reason. And then here is some Tim Holtz rub-ons. It says time, wish, love, hope, fly. More of that calendar paper, more digital stamping. There's the first semester test. Oh, they didn't take the first semester test either. Here's some more collaging. And a little tag that has a picture of a lady on there. And that just goes back in this little library pocket. And here's some more of that practice paper from that textbook. Here's another little bead dangle that she put attached with a little clothing pin here. And on this page, this flips up and it exposes some score sheets and some the little word bank from the bottom of one of those. And then here is a tag that pulls out of this pocket. And then here are a couple more flip out tags and spaces to write on this ledger underneath. Project paper, more of that textbook and sari silk. This is a card. It says grateful and it folds up. You can journal in there. And there's a journaling card and a tag here. And I love this paper, it's so pretty. So on the back side of that are these pockets, and it says journey at the top. And tucked in here, she has a postcard that is from the turn of the century, the last turn of the last century, from Italy. And then also this picture that she tucked in here, and it's of some people sailing on this beautiful lake. And so that meant something to her, and so she stuck it in here and kept it. This cool light fixture from the Graphics Fairy. A lot of those came from the Graphics Fairy. Some of those Fanny Robinson book pages. Here is just a collaged tag that is stuck in here. Here's that bookmark from this is a bookmark. So I fell in love with these beads. But they're too big to be a dangle, so I made a bookmark, and it's kind of cool. You don't have to use it, but you could leave it in here to mark kind of what page you're on or working on. So here are these old buttons up here. Maybe she found these or they fell off of something, or they have some significance, so she stuck them on here. And same with these beads. And this one's so faceted, it's so pretty. Anyway, so that's there, that's just stuck in here. And the middle of this signature, so this is the middle of the book, the middle of this signature just has another big pocket with some sewn journaling tag and some sewn on twine. And then this pretty plate of a bird here, of a raven. And then here's some old fibers that came from my aunt. Kind of cool, just stitched on there. Here's some more of that Fanny Robinson paper, and an old Victorian bed frame, some postal paper, and then some of this cool trim. I don't know if you can hear it. It jingles. I don't know if you can hear it. But there are a couple little bells on here. Sometimes they jingle and sometimes they don't, but these ones actually do. It's the coolest trim. We found it in this discount bin at this old discount fabric store. But you know, maybe Grandma found it somewhere. It came off some clothes or who knows what. Here's another one of those cool arrow clips, and it's holding on. This is almost like a wallet, sewn wallet. And in here is journaling card with sewing and collaging, and then this little pretty little butterfly paper, postcard paper. And then in the back is some family descendant information. So maybe she was tracing her roots or her lineage, or trying to find someone in her family. So she was looking at that and she put that in there and tucked it away. More pages. Here's a little pocket that folds out. This lovely floral paper that's Tim Coffey is the designer of that. It's gorgeous. And inside this envelope there are just a few little things. There's a lender's card, a borrower's card, excuse me, from the library, a bingo card, a scrap of some pretty paper, and a little old chalkboard, blackboard stuck in there, tucked away in this envelope. Oh, come on now. There we go. Then at the beginning of this signature, we have a little flappy flip out thing. And then this just tucks back in. And there's a little plate down here and some more of that cool paper trim. And then there's some pictures of some people, and who knows who they are. And some little ephemera, and some more ephemera here from on top of this old cheesecloth, and another charm. Maybe this was a piece of an earring, kind of looks like an earring or something that she saved. And some tags come out of this little pocket here. And on the back there is a little journaling card that you can take off and move or whatever. And this says, "Family like branches on a tree, we will all grow in different directions, yet our roots remain as one," which is kind of a cool sentiment. If you found this book up in the attic and it's Grandma's, you know, it's saying we all grow in different directions, but our roots remain as one. So kind of a cool way to look at your roots. More of that calendar paper, and some of the Fanny Robinson, a little collaging. This beautiful paper, I don't even remember who made it, but it's gorgeous. You'll see the other side of it. I ordered it. And then more of that really cool trim. That one jingles too. And it has little beads and sequins, really pretty. In the center of this one, there are these note-like papers here that you can write on and journal on. They're kind of like little tablets that are sewn in up here. More of that beautiful sari silk. And then here's the other side of that beautiful paper. I do not remember where yet, but it's beautiful. Some more of those book pages. This is a little pocket that's attached. It's actually made out of a card catalog card, and then it just has some little papers that you can take out and journal on. It says peaceful in the front. Here's another bead. Maybe this looks like an earring or something, or fell off a necklace. Some more of that calendar paper. Here's another pocket, some stamping here, and then inside of this pocket there is, this is just a folder that opens up, you can journal inside of, with this cool postcard paper. And then here is some more genealogy information about the families and where people were born and when and who they married and stuff. So she was trying to figure some things out about her family. Here's some more collaging, tag from something. Here's a little tag that says Dreamer of Dreams on it and has some collaging on the back. These tags flip up and you can write in here. Here's a little envelope, and there's a postcard back here with the old stamp, ephemera, and you can journal on that. And then here's a little airmail, and inside here there's some ephemera. And then some more pockets over here with more journaling cards and a tag that you can journal on. And here is a little half a manila folder, and it's really cool trim, brown, and it's got beading, and it's like velvety here, and it has this trim lace on it. And then this is fussy cut from some of that Tim Coffee paper. It's a tuck spot then. Here are some more of the end papers from that Fanny Robinson book. And some tracing paper. Here's a little pocket here with some ribbon off of something, and a couple sewn little pieces of paper and spots for you to journal and write little notes. And some ribbon sewn on the edge of that, and some more of that paper trim. And then here are a couple of cool buttons that she saved again and attached them onto the book binding strings in the center here. And then here's this cool collaged paper pocket, and there's this tag that comes out with this beautiful sunflower on it, and some beautiful dark blue navy crochet trim sewn on the edge of this one. Here's the last little charm. It's got a cute little owl on there, so she must have been my grandma, or it must have been me. I love owls. I had to include one in every book. So here we go. Here's my little owl as a charm here. So she saved that and stuck it on the edge with a paper clip here. And another little just sewn half page there. Some more of that sari trim. Then stuck up here with this Tim Holtz clip is a little collaged fold out folder with some more of that sari silk and a little tab, and some sewing collaging, and you can write inside there. It's old map paper, and you can then clip that whole thing back in. Tracing paper, more of that workbook, digital stamping, the end papers. Here is the last page is a pocket, got a pocket. And it says, don't let it get you down, it'll be over with soon. I like to think this is maybe a little drawing or painting that Grandma did and wrote that note to somebody that she knew would get this or get this later. And stuck inside is, if I can open this, a piece of just stationery paper that you can write on and tuck your thoughts away inside there, hide them away. And then the very back, it says learning to fly, and it's this cute little butterfly and another little handmade paper tag, and this folds out and you can put stuff back there. And then at the very back, oh yep, see, here we go, another one of the quilted papers. So that's in there. And then another old postcard. This one is of the Horse Guard in London, and it came in this little paper plastic envelope. And that's in this little pocket with some trim on it, and my tag, Musings by Nikki. And then I just like this thought, this sentiment at the end of the book. It says, the fruits I have gathered of memory, the ripened harvest of my musings, these give I unto thee. Right? So from the end of that Fanny Robinson book. But I just love that thought of the things that she'd gathered in here already, and the ripened harvest of my musings. Look at that. Hey, these I give unto thee. I love that thought. So look at, here we are, the book of memory, all the goodness, all the stuff. So thank you so much for watching. This is probably a super long video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the support. I'm getting messages and people are starting to subscribe to my channel. Who knew? This was just really, this has become almost therapeutic for me, going through and making these books. I just love it, love it, love it. And thank you for the support, and thank you for looking. And coming to watch my videos. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And if it snowed where you are, I hope you're staying warm and drinking some hot cocoa. And if you're in Orlando, Florida right now, and it's like in the 30s and 40s down in the southern part of the United States, I hope you're staying warm. And if you're places abroad, I hope you're enjoying your cities, and I hope to come visit you soon someday because I love to travel. Anyway, off on a tangent. Here we go. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for visiting. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. God bless.